going to take this one way and the other way. Start that again. So today I'm doing some sled work. Yeah, I'm pretty much just going to do a bunch of circuits revolving around the sled and some of the other stuff that you guys can probably see around here. This is my third set. I spent about an hour warming, and if you guys want to know what I do for a warm-up, there is a dedicated video a couple of episodes ago. Maybe it was 7 episodes ago at this point. I don't know, not sure. In any case, if you search for warm-up on my channel, there should be one video that talks about it. In any case, after that, I pretty much got into doing this. This is my third set. I'm starting off with reverse sled drag and forward sled push. Really gets the heart rate going and utilizing quite a bit of leg strength. Then after this, moving to farmer carries. So my gym has these farmer carry bars that make it convenient to load. I'm going to take this one way and the other way. Oh. Switching sides. Oh. I need to chalk my hands up. Yeah, I can do that better with chalk, but my hands slip. And then finally, moving into some kettlebell swings. Oh, going for 10 of those. But yeah, that was my third set. Probably going to do one more, but with chalk, so that I can do it a little better. And then on to the next circuit. I'm planning on sticking with some mostly sled movements, superset with something else. So yeah. For the next set of movements, I'm keeping the sled constant. Or no, I'm keeping farmer carry the same as the previous set, but I'm going to do something different with the sled. So instead of reverse drag, I'm going to lean into the sled handles and push it back like this. This forces the quads to stay. It's like doing a wall sit where your quads are like constantly engaged and it burns. But now instead you also have to push the weight back, which adds to the burn. And then after getting it one way, dragging it forward instead of pushing it forward. the main goal that I have today is to get my heart rate going as high as possible for as long as possible while handling really heavy weights or relatively heavy. Yeah, farmer carry stays constant. The chalk makes a lot of difference. Whew. And then with the kettlebells.
It's a lot of weight.
Thanks.
Killing it.
Thanks. I was gonna use that.
Oh, sorry.
Alright.
Go ahead. You have a couple sets, eh?
Huh?
You have a lot of sets on this?
At least 4 more.
I was gonna do some farmer's walk, but I'll let you do that. Using this kettlebell.
Yeah, I'm just doing alternate swings with it.
Oh, sorry?
I'm just doing some swings with it.
Oh, okay. So like while you're on it, I'll just kind of use this.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. And finishing off with some alternate swings. Five each side. Ooh. So yeah, these 3 as a circuit for now. Rest periods, as I'm kind of just going by feel, but when I do start a set, I'm trying to go from one exercise to the other as fast as possible. But yeah, I'm gonna do this for now. So for the next set of movements, I ended up only doing, well, I think 4 sets of the previous one, or was it 3? I think somewhere 3 or 4. In any case, moving into some single arm sled rows. I'm going to alternate hands each rep. So previously when I've done this, I've tried to be somewhat explosive with it. However, since I went pretty heavy on the farmer carries, I feel like some of that explosive strength has kind of, given way. And so I have to be a little bit more conservative with the way I'm pulling the sled back. So instead of trying to do it super fast or explode with the row, I'm just kind of doing it gradually and managing the pace. So that I can get through the set more efficiently. So what I mean by exploding back is I do that sometimes where I'm jumping back into a squat and using that force to kind of pull it. But that movement is pretty explosive, and right now I don't have that much explosiveness to give, and so I'm regulating that by doing slightly stricter reps and conserving that for the second phase of this. So I'm going to do alternate suitcase deadlifts. So a suitcase deadlift is where you just lift one side. So I'm going to alternate. I'm going to go for 5 each hand. So yeah, just supersetting these two for now. This was my second set. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'll probably need to end today's session with some mobility because this kind of stuff seems to reinforce a certain amount of rigidity, and it's good to undo that a little bit at the end of the session, at least in my opinion. For the next set of movements, starting off with single arm sumo deadlifts alternated, using the farmer carry bar to do so. So this handle is definitely higher than, I guess, regular bar, but it is. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more so going for the next set of movements, doing alternate sumo deadlifts with the farmer carry bar. This is my third set. For the first set, I think I just did 45 and 25. Then I did 2 45s for the second set, and then now I'm on to this. So this is my third set. Let's see how this goes. And this is brutal. Going for 3 each side. Wait, let me do one more.
Squat back.
Yeah. In any case, supersetting that with lateral sled drags. That was a fun little interaction. So yeah, this is going to be the last superset before I move into some mobility. I'm going to try and do one more set of the sumo deadlifts at this weight. So yeah, the weight's going to stay constant for the next set, and then on to some mobility. Whew. So as mentioned earlier, moving into some mobility. So the circuits today were a lot of posterior chain and like one arm deadlifts and stuff like that. And so those kind of movements tend to make my hips and obliques and stuff pretty tight. So I'm focusing a lot on posterior chain mobility at this point. So starting off with cable good mornings. So keeping my legs wide till I feel a stretch in the groin, and then slowly letting the cable pull me ahead, keeping my legs as straight as possible and having my toes pointed out, and slowly letting it pull me forward. And then coming back. I'm gonna go for 5 reps. I hope I'm in frame. Ever since doing cable good mornings, I've noticed my posterior chain mobility improve a lot. Like it's done the most improvement out of any other movement for my posterior chain movement ability. Ah. Then for the second exercise, going to focus on one side at a time. So I'm keeping my one leg bent so that I'm activating the piriformis, which is the side glute, and keeping it stretched. So while in this position, I'm going to hold the cable and lean forward and let it pull me ahead, which allows me to perform a loaded stretch on the piriformis slash side glute. Oh, I'm gonna go for 5 of this too. I'm really focusing on flaring out the left lat while stretching the left piriformis. It exaggerates just the whole stretch that you feel on that side. So, and to flare the lat, I'm just rotating the handle inwards. Switching sides after 5. So by doing these movements after like a heavy session, I'm able to reverse, in my opinion, some of the rigidity caused by the kind of training I was doing earlier. So I don't train like the way, like I do heavy stuff, but like I don't know, today was like, at least as far as the deadlifts and the farmer carries, was definitely something I haven't done in a while. So Trying to be, I guess, proactive and not let any of the stiffness from it, uh, I don't know, set into the body. At least that's the way I visualize things. Because if you're lifting that heavy, you kind of want, like, your body is kind of going to gravitate towards being really tight. Because if it's too loose while doing that kind of a movement, your body is probably at a likelihood of, like, uh, you know, getting out of whack in the sense. Uh, I don't know, like if you lift too heavy, usually the outcome is like bones getting out of place, like a slipped disc or something, right? And that's usually because the muscles aren't strong enough to handle the weight, and so it tries to tighten up so that there's more structural integrity while lifting. However, if all you do is lift heavy, then you get good at lifting heavy, but you start becoming really tight because that's what preserves the structural integrity to lift heavy. By doing mobility work along with it, I feel like I'm able to preserve my mobility while also working the same elements as far as that structural rigidity required to lift heavy. I don't know. I hope that thought made sense. I feel like I kind of mumbled or didn't say it too clearly. The last clip probably got cut pretty suddenly, mostly because I couldn't really formulate my thoughts. But the point I was trying to make was when lifting heavy, your body tries to tighten up in order to maintain the structural integrity while lifting. It really shouldn't be like kind of loose and moving around. But as a result, it also reinforces the tightness that you feel like while moving around. And so I try to balance it out by doing mobility work, uh, like just in general, but especially when I'm doing any sort of like heavy lifting, especially like the weird angles and stuff that I was doing stuff in, so as to like balance things out and not let any imbalances build up. Kind of try to nip it right in the bud, and not let it, and not give it time to set in. In any case, now that I'm here, might as well do a quick posing sesh. I felt pretty lean. Oh yeah, so I sat in the sauna for 20 minutes and did tib raises there. Tib raises is where you do this, just with weight on the front of the leg. But yeah, here's the physique for today. Just gonna make it quick. It's weird. Well, maybe it's not that apparent to you guys, but I feel like the color of the pants makes a huge difference in how lean I look. So I feel like I look a little bloated with gray pants as opposed to what I usually wear, black pants. But yeah, not looking too bad, and that's all for today's video. See you all tomorrow.